everybody, welcome back to Jimmy's Promo, and today I'm going to show you what I personally do to customize my phone, all the settings that I change that's really set up for me. So if you are curious on what I do with my phone, this is the best video for you. I just got done shooting a video talking about the first settings to change immediately. Now that's all general settings to change, which more than likely you've already done. So if you want to know exactly what I do, this is the best video for you. Now if you are brand new here at the channel of Jimmy's Promo and you own a Samsung Galaxy device, don't forget to hit on that subscribe button. If you've already been subscribed, don't forget about this bell over here and hit on the all option so you don't miss any future videos about tips and tricks. So one of the first things I do beyond all the general stuff is I go inside of my messages. I use Samsung messaging as my stock messenger. Right over here, it's really new for the Samsung One UI 2.1. This is where I add in a new category. So you just bring people in. So if you want to go into a particular category of maybe only your family. So I'm just going to go right here. I'm going to say family. And then this just means that all of my friends and family that I talk to, that I usually talk to a lot, it can go in any category. So I'm going to put in Bentley. We're going to go inside of here. So since I've gone through, I added in all of the family. Now it's gonna be pretty nice. Like here's all of my conversations. And if you only want to go into the stuff that's about your family, you just move right over here. I'm gonna hit on a new one and I'm gonna go inside and I'm gonna go to constant. Now these are just people that could be work friends, they could be non-friends, but they're people that I consistently always talk to. It doesn't really matter what it is, but I'm not really gonna choose the family folks. So I'm gonna go inside of here because these are the people that I talk to almost every other day or very often, but I want to make sure that they have their own little constant tab. So now you got your all, you got your family, and you also got your constant. The next setting that I move over and I change, not everybody loves this one. For me, it just doesn't make sense to keep it turned on. So I go inside of the camera, I hit on the settings, and as I scroll on down, I make sure that I turn off pictures as previewed. Now, if you already have pictures as previewed, that's toggled on, what's gonna happen is it's going to mirror image your picture. It's gonna flip it. So if you're wearing something that has words like Jimmy is Promo or Nike, Adidas, when you actually look back at it, it's gonna be written backwards and it kind of flipped you over. So make sure you have pictures as previewed turned off. So this way, when you watch videos and pictures, everything is gonna be written the way that they're supposed to, so people don't have to read backwards. The next setting that I change is I go inside of my Wi-Fi settings. The thing that I love about this one is that you can go inside of advanced and you can have this option right here, which is turn on automatically. And the cool thing is that it always recognizes what you always connect to. So when you have the turn on Wi-Fi automatically, it'll turn it on automatically when you're in places that you use frequently, and then it turns it off elsewhere. So when I leave the house after a few minutes, the Wi-Fi will actually turn off automatically. And then the moment I come back home, it'll turn it back on. Now, this is one of the things I like to do as convenience, but also to save a little bit of battery life, because if you always have Wi-Fi on, it's always scanning, trying to connect, locating new ones, and that takes a little bit of battery. The next thing that I do personally is I head over into an application so I can get some really cool backgrounds. Now, because I have the Galaxy S20, I downloaded this application here that's called UltraPix. Now inside of here, this is where you can just find some of the best images that you want. So this one actually is new. So we're gonna go to this one right here. It actually looks pretty cool. You can take a look at what it looks like by tapping the image, but I'm just going to save it to my phone. I usually never like to set any ringtones or wallpapers or anything through an application itself because if my phone updates, the application doesn't update, you're gonna run into a bunch of issues. So I just download it, I head over inside of my little gallery, I click on things that are already downloaded, then this right here is gonna be the picture. It looks pretty cool. So let's just go through and let's set this one up as the wallpaper. So I'm gonna set this one up for the home screen, set it up for the home screen, and now we're done and finished. So this is what now we have it looking like. Now we're gonna head over inside of the settings and we're gonna set up a fingerprint, but we're gonna set up the fingerprint different than normal. First, let me put in my password. Now inside of here, you can see I have two different profiles. I have myself and then the upcoming wife. And so a lot of people, they might have it set up for like right thumb, left thumb, and then maybe another significant other. For me, how I actually set it up is I actually log in both thumbprints as one profile. So let me show you what I mean by that. Actually, I'm gonna leave this here. I'm gonna go to add new fingerprint. Now, a lot of people, what they usually do is just, they always go through and they're just gonna set up their one thumb, and that's all they do. But what you're actually able to do is you can switch it. And so you wanna set up your phone in different angles. So I usually go like this, and now we kind of go every other, because you never know if you're gonna be putting your phone, sliding it to somebody, and then having to unlock it for them. Now the best rule of thumb is hold your phone as normal and make sure you put in a couple this way, because this is the way that you usually unlock your phone. So now I'm just gonna go back and forth. And so now this one's set up as one profile. I'm just gonna hit on done, and then you can add in Jimmy. Or if you wanna put it as each finger individually, you can put right thumb, make a new one, put it as left thumb, but this is just fantastic. It's amazing. You can see that I have Jimmy set up right over there. I don't have it set up for right thumb, left thumb. So to show you how this works, I'm gonna go in with both of my thumbs. So there's my right thumb, and then now I'm gonna show you with my left thumb. And there's really only one profile set up for me. So as I set it up again, I went right, left, right, left, right, left. Now you wanna make sure that you put your thumb right on that little print. And the best way that I found that it goes really fast is that if you press it pretty hard, you can lift up instantly. So you don't have to leave your thumbprint on there on the screen the whole time. You just be able to do a fast press and then lift up. Now the next thing that you might want to change is going to be with your ringtones and chimes and notifications and things like that. So I have Zedge downloaded. Now, like I said from before with UltraPix, is that I don't like to set up wallpapers and ringtones through the application itself. So once you find one that you like, usually what I did earlier was I went to ringtones. On the top, I typed in NFL chime, and I really like this NFL chime that's actually right here. And so all I did was I tapped there on the very top right hand side. I went to download, and then once it's downloaded, this is where you can set it up as a ringtone. But again, because I want mine set up as a notification, I have to move that file somewhere else. So for example, let's say we go inside of settings, and let's say that we head over into sounds and vibrations. I go to notification sound. I'm just gonna go with the regular picker that you always usually use. As I go through here, wow, there's actually a lot that's on here. They added quite a bit. Now, as you go through here, the one that I just downloaded was the NFL chime, and it's not sitting anywhere on this screen. And so you can't, grab anything that's saved. All you'd have to do is go inside of your Samsung, the My Files, and I'm gonna go inside of the internal storage. I downloaded it off of Zedge, and so I'm gonna head over into Zedge. This is where that notification sound is. So I'm gonna take this one, and I'm basically going to, let's move it back up a couple pages here. So you go back to that internal storage after you chose the option to move. We're gonna move it down to where it says notification sounds or notifications. Underneath notifications, this is where you wanna move it there. And so now what's gonna happen is when you go back inside of your settings, we're gonna go down into where it says sounds and vibrations. We're gonna go back into notification sound, and then right there is that option for NFL chime. And then we're just gonna hit on back. And if you wanna hear what it sounds like, let's turn this up just a little bit. So now we're gonna go to notification sound. And so now when I get a notification, we're gonna have that customized sound. Now the next setting that I usually like to change is the do not disturb. So I'm gonna press and hold on do not disturb, and I'm going to turn it on as scheduled. And then usually there's one in here that's called sleeping. And so from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m., this thing will be on do not disturb. So this way when people text me, call me, it's gonna be very silent. You can actually go inside of the allow exceptions. Now underneath the allow exceptions, this is where you might want to turn on the repeat caller. So if you have somebody calling you from maybe a number that you don't really know for sure, but if they're calling you multiple times within a 15-minute time frame, it's probably important. You can also have your alarms, media sound, a whole bunch of things that is kind of turned on. So I'm going to leave it for that. Now, when it comes down to the calls from and the messages from, this is where you want to put in the people or the category that is very important. So underneath the favorite contacts only, that means that I will get notifications from my favorite contacts. That just means you go inside of your contacts or your phone application, and there's a little star icon, star your people, so then they are your favorited contacts. So this way, during the time frame of 10 p.m. to 7 a.m., you'll actually be able to get notifications from them. The next setting that I usually change is I go inside of settings and I go down into biometrics and security, and then underneath the face recognition, set up your face recognition first, the way that you normally look. And then once you have your main face recognition there, go to add alternative look. Now, if you're a female, you can actually have your first image being once the moment you wake up, you don't have makeup on, nothing like that. And then when you're done, you have your makeup on, you put on your mask, all that stuff. You can go into add alternative look. So this way, if you're wearing makeup or not wearing makeup, it'll always pick you up. If you're a dude, more likely you might want to have one with your sunglasses and hat as an alternative look, because a lot of times in the summer I wear a hat and sunglasses, but if you don't set it up that way, it'll never unlock for you. Even though it knows your face, you still have sunglasses and hat on, so it's not going to work. And then you can also set this option here, so you don't want it to stay on the lock screen. Just let it unlock your phone. There's no reason to look at your phone, have it unlock, and then you have to swipe it again. Makes no sense at all. So turn this one off so it goes straight into the phone. You can do the faster recognition. Turn on the require eyes open, so this way if you're sleeping it doesn't work, and then brighten the screen so it can work when it's a little bit dim. Now, the next setting that you can go for is you can change the color and the look of your Google search bar widget. Now first off, I am going to change my little weather widget. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller, put it a little bit higher towards the top. With this one right here, you can make it larger, smaller, but this is where I usually like to have it. I kind of like it to be this size, but when you hit on that G, then you're going to click on more on the bottom right hand side, and this is where you go to customize widget. Now this is where you can change the color, so if you want it to either say the full word of Google or just stay with the letter G, then you hit on close. This is where you can make it boxy or keep it as a circular object. Then you can go over into the next one right over here, which is the different colors. So I'm going to keep it as colored instead of this like gray. This is like black and white, and so I'm going to keep it as color, but I'm going to hit on this little color option. And this is where you can change, the type of color that you want it to look like. So down here, you can make it change different shades of the color that you're choosing. Now, because we just switched it over into John Wick, you might need to use a color like red or green so it can stand out. Usually I like to use blue. And then as we have red, we're gonna go for this color here. And then when you're done with all of these colors here, you can head over into close. And this last one over here is how see-through it is. If you want it to be more solid, if you want it to kind of be see-through, so we can put it right there. I'm gonna hit on close one more time, and then you want to make sure you hit on done. And then once you hit on done, once you head back home, now it's gonna be set up the way that you have it set up. So the next thing that I usually do is I make folders. So this might be something I do kind of first, but once you set up your screen grid the way you want it to, I'm gonna make another folder. And this one's usually referred to as tools. So I'm gonna press and hold on this icon. I'm gonna bring it right over there, and I'm gonna make this folder name, and I'm just gonna call it tools. It's just something that it's just super helpful. It keeps it in your app tray, but then when you press and hold it and you take it over into your main screen, and then now it's gonna be sitting there as well. So when you go back to your app tray, you're gonna have applications sitting inside of there, so it's not gonna be filling up a bunch of things. Now, if you wanna add more into this little folder, hit on that little plus button, and this is where you can add in more of all your different tools. So this one's gonna mostly be the calculator, the calendar, the clock, and then any other thing that you might be thinking of. You can hit on done, and then now you have all three of those in there. You can tap over here and you can change the color of what you want it to look like. So if you want it to kind of have this like little yellow look, you can do that. If you tap on this icon here, you're gonna get the entire grid. And so you can kind of go through, again, customize everything the way that you want it to look. And then there you go. And that's how it's all set up. Now, because I didn't put this little app in this one here for the app tray, you do want to put it in there. So the nice thing is go into your app tray, put everything into your folder, and then move it onto your main page. Now, the next one I usually make is one that's called YouTube. So all of my YouTube things, so YouTube Studio, YouTube Music, YouTube itself. I'm gonna make a folder here, so it's gonna say YouTube. Now I'm gonna add more inside of here, so I need to find YouTube itself, YouTube, and YouTube TV. So I'm subscribed to everything. So now that we got that YouTube application that is that's sitting there, we're gonna go back inside of here. Here's our folder. We're gonna bring this one out onto the main page, and there we go. So now anytime that I wanna go, actually let's move this real fast. So now I'm gonna have my everyday applications. You can see that I kind of already started that because it was really bothering me from before. So now all my YouTube stuff is there. All my tools sitting there. My everyday applications sitting here. I use it, go, and I have a pretty clean wallpaper and home screen. The next setting to change is going to be one with the blue light filter. So at night when you go to bed, you kind of want to make sure you get some of that blue away from the screen. Blue actually suppresses the melatonin, so it's a little bit harder to go to bed. So what I usually do is I go down to the turn on as scheduled. I go to custom schedule, and I set mine up for 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. So this way, right at 9 o'clock, I know I should be going to bed. You can also change how you want it to look as you change the opacity. And so I'm just gonna put it right there. I don't need it to be, or maybe right there. I don't need it to be too crazy. Just something that looks good so it doesn't hurt my sleep schedule. And then once you're done, you can just basically hit on back. The next 3 things I usually change is really fast. You go inside of your home screen settings. You just have to press and hold anywhere on the screen that's empty. Click on home screen settings and turn on rotate to landscape mode. So this way, when you're watching YouTube and your phone is already in landscape mode, the moment that you hit on home, it takes you back to your home screen like this, that's already in landscape. If you don't have that, let's say you're watching something that's horizontally, the moment you hit on home, your phone is set up the other way. So turn on this setting. It's something that you're gonna find that is very helpful, especially when you go back into your camera. It might not be orientated correctly the moment you hit record, but if you're already in horizontal mode, it's gonna be perfect. The next thing to change is pull down your notification panel twice, go to the very top right-hand side, and then you click on quick panel layout. With the quick panel layout, this is where you can add the brightness on the top. Now the reason why, at least for me, that this helps is because when I pull down the notification panel, maybe there's something I need to change. It's gonna show it right here. But originally when you first pulled this down, it would only show when you pull it down twice. So make sure you turn that one on. The next thing you might wanna turn on is your status bar, and you can show battery percentage. A lot of people like to see their battery percentage throughout the day, so that's how you're able to turn it on. The next one that I always download is an application that's called Good Lock. This is where you can customize your phone even more. I'm not gonna go fully in depth on this. I do wanna let you know that with the Quick Star, when you turn this one on, you can turn off some of the visibility stuff. So if you had a phone that's AT&T, you'd be able to turn it off right here by hitting on home screen. And then usually what I do is I always download Task Changer because I love this grid look right here for all of my recent applications. I have all 3 of these turned on for the blur effect, gesture, and switching to previous applications. So this way, when I actually swipe up and hold, it's gonna put me in this menu here. I can see more screens, and it's just super amazing and helpful. Also too, their multi-window setting is a little different and it works a little bit better than stock Samsung. So this is where you can go into multi-window applications. Now the next thing I like to turn on is the secure folder. And again, I don't call it secret folder. I call it secure folder because I want to keep things secure. There's really nothing that I need to keep secret. But you just want to type in secure folder, and it's going to take you over into that biometrics and security. And it's going to show you right over here. This is where you can turn on all the settings. You can get into it. So let me type in my PIN. This is where you can go through all your settings, how you want it to be locked. You can auto lock it. So this way, the moment the screen turns off, and really kind of, that's about it. I mean, you can even have it show or not show the icon. I like to have it show the icon. So this way, when I go up in my apps folder, it's sitting right there. I can go inside of it, do whatever I need to do. I can put an additional game icon here so I can have 2 profiles for 1 game. And then when you're done, you can just, lock it and exit. The next thing that I like to do, especially with the Galaxy S20 or really any phone that's running on Samsung One UI 2.1, when you go inside of the Samsung folder, you go inside of AR Zone, or you just go inside of your camera, you go into Bixby Vision, and inside of Bixby Vision, go to your AR emoji. Now with this one, this is where I can go in and I can do my AR emoji studio. So I made me, and the reason why I made myself is because in this way, I can have all of these customized stickers and GIFs and things like that. So anytime I want to send something through my Samsung keyboard, I just be able to attach any of these in there. It's actually pretty cool. Again, they all look like me, customized it to look like me, and that's just something that I love to do. Now for the very last 2 things, I need to pull in my smaller Galaxy S20. This one is unlocked, and now if you have unlocked, you'll have these last 2 settings, but if you have a carrier phone like AT&T, you might not have it. So I go inside of the settings, and you want to go down into the advanced features, and then underneath advanced features, there's 2 things you want to turn on. The first one is going to be the call and text on other devices. So that means that if someone calls me or texts me, or if I want to call somebody or text somebody, I can do it on my other tablet. Now you just turn this on and you make sure that this is logged in with your Samsung account. Your tablet is also logged in with Samsung account. You also go to that tablet, you turn on call and text and other devices, and you're good to go. It's fantastic, it's amazing, and that's actually one of the reasons why I purchased this phone in particular, because I always use that. And then you want to turn on your game launcher. This AT&T phone took that away. It really pissed me off, but this is where you have your game launcher, so all of your games is going to be sitting inside of here. That is all downloaded, and then you can also check out more games. They have tools and your library is sitting there. I mean, it's fantastic. I love game launcher. But this AT&T phone up here just did not have that, but I wanted to show those last two off. So this is pretty much everything that I do beyond the normal general things. This is how I set up my phone. This is how I customize my phone. But I hope you guys have liked this video. If you guys did, please give this thing a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to hit on subscribe. Subscribe right over here on the very bottom left-hand side. And if you like this video, then more than likely you'll also like this video. And I'll see you guys later.